This is the 2006 Hummer H3. It has 250 horsepower and yeah, it's the exact same car as last week. What can I say? I don't have Seinfeld's budget. Let's just skip this part.
Now from CBS 47, Fox 30, this is Action News Jax at 6.
My T partner today is WJAX WFOX Jacksonville General Manager Bob Longo. And this is TV news people in cars getting tea. Bob Longo.
John Z.
So what's this sign?
This sign here is my insurance
Sonny
policy.
about it.
Man, this ensures that you'll treat me nicely. I'm just going to leave it up here the entire time.
I hate to tell you, you're not as good looking as Sonny Abada. God, you and I have not seen each other in a long time.
We have not. We had one lunch, I think, here, right?
One or two, but
people,
that's been a while.
Do people know we used to work together?
Do I go this way? Do I go this way?
No, you go that way.
I'm already lost and I'm not even out of the parking lot yet.
Just go left, my man.
This
is not a Sinclair station.
We worked together for a whopping week and a half.
Literally like 2 weeks. You're absolutely right. In Buffalo. And you've got the shirt on.
I got the shirt on, WKBW in Buffalo.
That's right.
And the interesting story was that here's the weird story. I was in Pittsburgh and Bob was in Buffalo.
Yes.
I packed up all my crap.
I conned you into leaving Pittsburgh.
It took 3 years. You approached me at one point to come, and I couldn't come because I was still under contract. And the idea was that people are like, well, why would you go from Pittsburgh to Buffalo?
Right.
That station was the first station I interned at and everything else. And I thought, how cool. Yeah, I said, how cool would it be to kind of end my career? I knew I was getting towards the end of my career. I said, how cool would it be to end a career at the same place you interned at,
right,
and be, one of the bosses in the newsroom. I thought,
right,
this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And when I worked there as an intern, the station was owned by Capital Cities.
Yep.
I mean,
all was good.
Unbelievable.
Right.
I mean, they were the ones, for a long time. ABC was owned by Capital Cities. It was a whole thing, or Capital Cities was owned by ABC.
They'd steal people from Buffalo and put them in Philly. And
yeah. Oh yeah.
Some of those guys are still there.
It was huge.
Right.
And so when I went back, I thought, that's what I'm going back to. Well, I get there, and the same day I start, Bob Longo calls a newsroom meeting and announces he's leaving to become the news director in Pittsburgh.
I better hold this up now.
So literally on the day I start, Bob holds a meeting to say he is going to...
It might have been the next day.
I think it was the day I started. Believe me, I remember it because it's like getting shot. You don't forget that. And the worst part was, not only did I get hung high and dry by the guy that hired me, and had tried to hire me for years, not only did I get hung and dry by him, but here's the worst part.
I'm feeling this interview going down. We're going left here.
Here's the worst part.
We're going to get killed?
We're going to get killed by a truck. Oh man, he's giving me the finger.
I mean, people...
Don't hit me, buddy.
Whoa.
Dude, I don't want to show my road rage. You mother... But anyway, the worst part is, the station was no longer owned by Capital Cities.
No, far from it.
It was owned by Granite Broadcasting, and it was run by the worst general manager in the history of television. Of course, we're not going to say his name, Bill Ransom, but it was awful. And I remember, I think I called you about a month in.
I think this is my stop. I think I get out here.
I think I called you like a month in, and I said, Bob, what the hell? And you were just laughing. You were just laughing on the other line, just laughing, and I thought,
well, two things could have happened.
You know what?
One, you could have played your cards and become news director, or two, you could have played your cards, and then things have gone the other way, and you started the world's most well-known web internet entity.
And we got to order here. Do we order here? No, we order here.
I'm paying, by the way.
You are paying?
Yeah.
You know what? Then I'm going to change this. Wait, I'm going to change this from TV people having tea to steak.
Oh, hang on a second. Tall mocha frap, light with whip.
And a tall mocha frap, light with whip. You know, this segment is called TV News People in Cars Drinking Tea.
Well, you're drinking tea,
And you're
I'm not
drinking
a
coffee.
news person anymore. So technically,
Well,
I think it's all good.
You're closer to a news person than I am. You should think about switching to decaf.
WTA in Pittsburgh. And then
Which was owned by Hearst.
And then I went to Wesh in Orlando for 5 years, exactly.
Which was also owned by Hearst.
Yeah, and during that entire time, competed against Cox.
Right, which is
PXI in Pittsburgh,
WFTV.
where you worked, right,
Yep.
PCNC. And competed against FTV and Bob Jordan at WFTV at Wesh.
Was
And,
Jordan wasn't still there, was he?
He was, yeah, he was there. Yeah, he tormented me on Twitter for my first 3 years. That's
And that's
how
why,
picked-
is that
that's how
why
I
you,
picked up.
I was going to say, because you like to torment the competition.
I've been very good about that.
You've been better lately.
I have.
But why do you, I mean, why not do it?
Well-
You know what? I used to torment my competition all the time. I
Right.
did.
Yeah.
And the only reason I don't now is because my traffic is so high. Why should I give them the,
Right.
why should I give them the shout out?
And I don't think there's any secret to. I mean, when I got here, we were the upstart, right? And so, you know, I wanted to make sure that they were thinking about us. I'll just leave it at that. And so, I picked on them, and they were easy to pick on. Still are. As a
Yeah,
matter of
well,
fact.
all TV stations are easy to pick on, as I've learned.
We established that I've screwed you over.
You've screwed me over,
We
and you
swapped cities.
We've swapped cities. You were in Orlando, so we got to get you to Jacksonville.
That's
How
it.
did you get to Jacksonville?
I drove. It was a couple hours up the road. No, so you know, I started talking to some folks at CMG, and
Which is Cox Media Group.
yep, and
CMG if you're hip. I'm not hip, it's Cox.
best career move I ever made. And I am not.
And
a
I
young
will
guy.
say, and I worked for Cox in Pittsburgh
Right.
for 5 years, which is the longest I've ever worked at any one station.
Yep. And if I
I
had
will
dragged you out of there, you'd still
yeah,
be there, probably.
Exactly.
Right.
And happy and have a retirement and 401k.
That's right.
And now I'm poor. I don't think you're going to make your anchors like read a thing about how terrible the rest of the industry is and everything like Sinclair.
I can't imagine that happening. That's a sad day.
I think that a lot of people will shy away from Sinclair, and the real journalists, which there are not a lot of, will be looking at going to the other groups, and Sinclair is going to be stuck with the people that want to be on TV. I just want to be on TV. And I think that may be all Sinclair wants, because I think they want people that will, that will read crap that they ask them to read. Yeah, that's another interesting thing about this market. WJXT was the CBS station, right?
Yep, until 2002.
And they went independent. And this, back quite a long time ago, they went independent. And to their credit, they've remained powerful when it comes to news.
Oh, I'll give them their due. I mean, think about that. They were a hugely successful CBS affiliate, and they decided, for whatever reason, that they were going to go their own way. And I'm sure it was financial, but they stuck with news as their bread and butter, and they did a good job with it.
It's kind of funny, and I've told you this, it's no secret, I don't really watch local news. I don't watch TV. I figure I worked in it my whole life. I don't need to watch it. I don't think the doctor goes home and then says, let's cut open the dog.
Well, last month we were number one at noon, 5, 6, and 11 in the adult 25-54.
Right.
And that's been a trend. So we've been doing well in that, and that's our tack, actually.
Right. Well, and now that
give away all my secrets.
And now that you're a GM, you care more about sales numbers.
You give me just a little bit of hard time over that. I'm impressed, man.
Well, I mean, you're a GM now. That's like ridiculous.
Also, not that sales folks aren't smart, but news folks know how a big part of the operation runs.
Salespeople,
and why it runs.
salespeople
and all
aren't
that.
smart.
No, I would never say that. I know a lot of brilliant salespeople. Okay?
And they all work for you, right?
and they all work with
Every
me.
one
That's
of them.
right. Every one of them.
Unbelievable. It's like
It's amazing how that happens.
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. I'm glad you see that.
If you have a good news product that puts on a good product, you don't need the gimmicks. You don't need to do you don't need the stupid contests. You don't need all the crap, and you just sell your news numbers.
Right. I can remember I was in Pittsburgh. It was 2002, and I was at WJAX, and we beat KDK at 6 o'clock, and we researched it. It was the first time ever that KDK had lost the 6 o'clock news, and it was 2002. They'd never lost the 6 before. It was amazing.
Was Sonny Abata there at KDK?
No, I think she was still in high school. This is the Bob Longo hour here. Why are we talking about Sonny Abata again? Well, how'd that work?
Because that's, we're trying to get the views up. So your thoughts on Jacksonville? You moved to Jacksonville from Orlando. What's the difference between Jacksonville and Orlando?
NFL football, a legitimate beach.
True. Orlando doesn't have a beach.
Easy to get around. There's a ton of roads, and it's not as congested. And the people here on the roads live here, so they know how to ride and drive, right? In Orlando, you're almost an hour from a beach.
And if you get on I-4, you might as well just bring lunch.
That's right. I mean, I was stuck on that road more times than I want to think about it.
Well, Bob, I have to say that, you know, it is good catching up with you. It's kind of funny that we live like 20 minutes away.
In four and a half years, we've seen each other twice.
And it is funny because...
Maybe that's just as well.
And there is, well, I mean, and let's be honest, there's times where even, you know, I have a job to do, you have a job to do, and there's times that you and I have gotten into it, either on Twitter or email or whatever.
Absolutely.
But we've always been, you know, straight up with each other.
Right.
We've sometimes agreed with each other, sometimes we've agreed to disagree, but in the end, I figure if I never killed you after taking me to Buffalo and screwing me over, I figure you're not going to kill me now for whatever I write on FTVLive. Well, as I said, you know what? It's great catching up with you. I think you
kicking me out.
You need to buy me a lunch sometime because you got off cheap. Although it was Starbucks.
I took you to like a barbecue place last time, and I think I paid a little less than the 2 drinks from Starbucks.
I think you paid a lot less. I think we got a giant barbecue and like dessert and drinks, and it was less than Starbucks.
I think it was.
Which is really kind of sad.
Adios, people.
All right,
Been
Bob,
fun.
It was great. Take care,
right,
and
man.
I'll see you on TV.